Good evening, everyone. Welcome to another edition of Ohio Puzzles, and this is the Tuesday Age and Sydney Morning Herald cryptic crossword from our friend Liam Runnels. Also publishes cryptics in the Saturday paper. Definitely worth checking out, especially for anyone trying to cut their teeth on cryptics. As with all of my evening editions, I'm going to start tonight with a poem. This one is by an Iroquois elder by the name of Uncle John, and it's called There is a River. There is a river flowing very fast. It is so swift that there are those who will be afraid. They will try to hold on to the shore. They will feel they are being torn apart and will suffer greatly. No, the river has a destination. The elders say we must let go of the shore, push off into the middle of the river. Keep our eyes and our heads above the waters, and, I say, see who is in there with you and celebrate. At this time in history, we are to take nothing personally, least of all ourselves. For the moment we do, our spiritual growth comes to a halt. The time of the lone wolf is over. Gather yourselves together. Banish the word struggle from your attitude and vocabulary, and all that we do now must be done in a sacred manner and in celebration. So a very poignant and evocative and timely invocation. As for matters here in Melbourne right now, it's 10:30 p.m. on Tuesday. I'm just back from a fairly unsuccessful night at a league pool match. I think we lost 13-7, but I think we played pretty well. We were kind of unfortunate in a number of instances. The luck went against us. But I thought I should try to finish my evening off with this puzzle. So, Liam, what do you have for us? We're going to start with, naturally enough, 8 across. It's a slightly unusual grid structure today. And quite a few of these unchecked letters along the top, which makes solving a little bit more difficult for those words, but otherwise it looks pretty standard. So let's have a look. 8 across, writer using wrong birds. Interesting. I don't actually think I have any idea what's going on there. Often a writer is a pen. I see. It's quite straightforward. This is penguin, so writer is a pen, and using is being anagrammed with the word wrong to give birds being penguins. 1 down. Works overseas, clutching empty purse. So this is going to be so I was going to say this, overseas, OS, surrounding something, meaning works. Right, opuses. So that's funny because often the word OP or the abbreviation OP is used in cryptics using the word work, but here we have the actual definition being works, opuses, and empty purse is purse without the middle letter R. I was thrown because I was thinking of empty purse as purse without any of its middle letters, meaning just the P and the E, and I thought I've only got 4 letters, but opuses it is, or opusi perhaps, opi, opusodes. Now let's try 10 across. Sadly, Tim's GST idea was disparaged, starting with an S. We have 11 letters in here, so likely to be an anagram, sadly indicating to rearrange these letters, meaning a word that means disparaged, starting with an S. Stigmatized. Get my cursor in the right place. I think we're on the money there. So 13 across. Rogue, often also an anagram indicator, but I think maybe not in this case. Small might be the S at the start. Business might be C and O. Fund lost capital. That could be fund without its first letter, so you get that. It looks like we're getting scoundrel, who is a rogue. So small for S, business for co. Fund without its capital letter is und. And then concerning headline is RE for concerning, like on an email, about. And headline is the first letter, the head letter of line. Scoundrel is our final answer. So not so bad so far, 2 down. Popular vlogger, debut on Instagram to speak and energize. Popular is often in. Vlogger, I'm thinking something to do with video. Well, vlogger's debut, okay, so in just the first letter of vlogger. On Instagram to speak and energize. So invigorate. So Instagram is IG, and to speak is to orate. So 3 down. Mustard total cash almost 500. So this is going to be this at the end. So cash will be money, but not quite. So almost cash. D for 500. The first 3 letters mean total, which is sum, and mustard is summoned. So it's just showing a bit the kind of thought process there that I started with the likelihood of the 500 being a D, and that would come at the end most likely, especially if that's wordplay. Then the first word is likely to be the definition. That's also a past tense with a D, so D at the end was likely, and I had the M and the N already, so when I saw cash I thought of money, and I worked backwards to get mustard finally. So I actually hadn't thought about the definition at all until I'd put in all of the letters. So 4 down. Dries utensil improperly, anagram, still covered in germs. So we're looking at 12 letters here, which are improperly arranged. Is that 12 letters? Yes. Still covered in germs, so it looks like un something. What will it be? Unsterilized? Yeah. So unsterilized it is. 16 across. Funny looking word. Run eyes over Friday crossword with learner. It's outrageous. That's a very good surface reading. This looks like scandal from the definition. Outrageous. We've also got Friday crossword being the DA in there. To run eyes over is to scan. Friday crossword DA, and learner, as in a learner driver, has an L plate. That's an L. That's a great clue. That should go in the running for clues. And I'm just going to take a little screenshot so I don't forget. For some of the candidates for the golden waffle, certainly gets some honourable mention. It's I love these kind of in references, although you do need to know a little bit about the setters in the age, of course. 16 down, highly recommends curses on heartless buddy. So this is, I think, going to be stands by. I'm not quite sure, but we've got heartless buddy is buddy without the UDD, so just BY. Highly recommends, I think, would be stands by, but it might be something else. Yeah, because curses are not stands, are they? Swears by is better. Highly recommends. So 19 across. Apply pressure on former husband to avoid Perth outskirts. So the word former is often an X, so it looks like we might have an X here, and you can see apply pressure. It naturally kind of fits with an X word as well. I think it's going to be exert, or exert, I should say. So to apply pressure, exert, former is X, or former husband is X. To avoid Perth outskirts, so Perth without its outer letters gives ERT. Slightly unconventional ordering of words there, because really Perth is avoiding its outskirts rather than, it just feels a bit skew to do it that way, but fair enough. 20 down. Fun fact, leaders of the Republicans in Virginia invented aerobics. So this is trivia. The leading letters of all of these words after leaders of give TRIVINA, which is a fun fact. 26. Overcook rice occasionally in Australian city. So rice occasionally is either RC or IE. Overcook, is it the whole thing? So where's the B coming from? Burn. Is it Bernie? I believe that is an Australian city. Might be wrong thinking it's in Tasmania, but I think that is what we're after. 24. Dress crow up. I was going to say, this is garb. So to crow is to brag, and that's going upwards, giving us garb, which is another word for dress, giving us a pretty straightforward 23 across. There's can't be too many options here. Tabloid is rag. Rang, missing person finally, so that the final letter of person N is missing from the word rang, giving us rag. So there we go, 25 across. Country after one new mine causes resentment. One is probably I. New is probably N. Country after one new mine causes resentment. Is it indignation or something? Yeah, it is indignation, because nation is the country, and mine is to dig, D-I-G. Okay. So 11 down. How clumsy high diver is treating oneself to luxury. So it looks like a cryptic definition. Clumsy high diver. Something off, I think, or out. Treating oneself to luxuries. So that's an ing. Oh, splurging out. Not sure what that's got to do with a high diver. Is that correct? Splurging out? No, splashing out. There we go. That is the expression, and a clumsy high diver may splash out. That's a bit of a stretch there, I think, but I reckon that's what's intended. Complexions, 21. Complexions of broke individuals. Skin tones. So skint is broke, and individuals is ones, and skin tones are complexions. 27. Ray and Barb outside the United Nations. So United Nations might be this. Array could be sun something. So Barb, like sunbeams or something like that. But we'd need a word for Barb that started with this letter here. That Barb can be something like a taunt or a tease or something like that. Sunlight. So a slight is a barb. 22 down. Very good reason for Parmesan. I typically included. It kind of looks like it is. It's a hidden. So included in this expression, Parmesan I typically is sanity, and sanity is a very good reason for something. Slightly weird definition, but okay. 18, playing clarinets topless shows guts. So I think it's an anagram of clarinets but without the C. So larynets being rearranged to mean guts. So this is entrails. 17 across. Pole beginning to toast Cockney's well-being in secrecy. So pole could be south, as in S. Beginning to toast could be the T, the first letter of toast. Cockney's well-being is the word health, but pronounced like a Cockney, elf, without the first H, and giving secrecy meaning stealth. 15 down. Extremes of booze, probably B-E, the extreme letters of booze. Cravings, is longings. And property are belongings, or is belongings. So we're doing well here, closing in, as Michael Jackson would say, to seal your doom. Religious scholar starts to regret actually buying beachfront investments. So this is rabbi. It's amazing how the surface reading of that, I couldn't tell you what that clue just said. All I was doing is I was thinking about what are the starting letters of these words. So religious scholar starts to regret actually buying beachfront investment. Okay, so now I've taken in the surface. We take in the start letters though of those 5 words and we get a rabbi. Sorry, I think I've spelled that incorrectly. I don't know. For some reason I was thinking it was 2 I's, but I'm thinking of radii. I feel like there could be a good cryptic play mangling the words rabbi and radii. 5 down. Travel aimlessly, something like meander or something, in Australian state. Essay, I think, over November, knocking back wine. So, oh, sorry, not essay, WA. So I was going to say Sander doesn't really quite work, but wander does. So WA, Western Australia, November for N, and a wine is a red, which is being knocked backwards. 9 across rather. Vehicle with alternating jets is a nice touch. Vehicle is either a car or a van, I think. Alternating jets is so caress. So alternating jets is every second letter of this, which is E, S, and S. Which comes after the vehicle car for caress, which is a nice touch. 6 down. Walked out of the French film's premiere cross. So the French is often le or maybe le with an S on the end. Premiere cross. This feels like left for walked out. I see. Yeah, the film's premiere is the F and cross is T. I always get thrown by that. I never think of that instinctively, but a lowercase t has the structure of a cross. 12 across. Speaking of crosses, honk endlessly. Toot, I think, and excessively. Yeah, so excessively is to, and honk is toot, but we're not going to end the word. And I think we're down to the final one. 7 down. A stonefish unclasped, curling iron in shock. A stonefish unclasped, curling iron. Iron's often Fe. In shock. What is this word? Well, okay. A at the beginning of the clue would suggest it's included in the answer. Oh, I see. So this is astonish. So stonefish, we have stonish. I see, and stonefish, we're taking out the EF, which is to say it's a quite a convoluted clue that. So curling iron is Fe from the periodic table, but going backwards, giving EF, and we're going to unclasp that from this word. So that is a quite tricky set of instructions, but it does come to the final answer of shock in the verb sense, to astonish, and astonishingly we have completed the puzzle in I think just under 20 minutes. So that was a fun exercise, a couple of really cool clues. I think the one that I took a screenshot of particularly, I forget which one it was now. The one to do with DA, scandal, 16 across. Rhino's a Friday crossword with learner. It's outrageous, and it's just it's such a great clue. It's not difficult unless you don't know who DA is, but the surface reading is just so appropriate. I often say to people who are thinking of learning cryptics, don't start on a Friday. It's not even worth looking at. And you can imagine a learner on a LR puzzle will find a lot of clues outrageous and the whole premise of the thing ridiculous. But there we go. Some fun taunting between setters, LR and DA there, which is fun to see. Thank you to Liam for that crossword, as always, and thanks to everyone else for being here and watching and listening more. Apologies, my face has been on camera much recently. I know that you must be pining that loss, but lighting at this time of night is difficult, and most of my solving has been at night time recently. Thank you to anyone who's subscribed, and if you aren't subscribed, then subscribe. I'd love you to subscribe. I'm on my way towards 100 subscribers, which is good for me, but also good for YouTube to understand that crosswords are an interesting thing to promote across the globe, and build the culture of cryptic crosswords. I'll be back hopefully again this week at some point with another crossword, and until then, merry solving to you all. Look after yourselves, and I'll see you soon.